Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and please do not forget to like and subscribe, thank you. I didn't just choose her, my soul recognized her. Lee Min-ho's heartfelt confession about the deep qualities that made Kim Go-eun the woman he will marry. By Stargaze Global, April 22nd, 2025. In a world full of temporary emotions and fleeting attention spans, I found something eternal in her eyes. I found my forever. Lee Min-ho. There are stories that flutter like passing seasons. And then there are stories that etch themselves into eternity. Stories so profound, so tender, so utterly human, they touch the deepest strings of the heart. Today, the world bears witness to one such story. A real-life fairy tale, not gilded in grandiosity or wrapped in cinematic perfection, but grounded in truth, in pain, in healing, in love. This is the story of Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun, a love not written by a screenwriter, but carved gently, day by day, in the quiet moments that matter most. And now, with tears in his eyes and the sincerity of a man who has known the highs and lows of life and fame, Lee Min-ho has finally opened up about why he chose Kim Go-eun to be his wife. What followed was not just a celebrity interview. It was a love letter to humanity. She's the quiet in my chaos. Lee Min-ho on finding peace in Kim Go-eun. Wearing a simple shirt, seated on a wooden bench beside a blossoming magnolia tree, Lee Min-ho looked different, lighter, more grounded, almost as if the weight of years had quietly slipped off his shoulders. And perhaps they had. Because for the first time in a very long time, he wasn't performing. He was simply speaking from the rawest place within. Kim Go-eun is not just a woman I love. She is my clarity, my compass. The stillness I didn't know I was craving after years of noise and lights and expectations. She's the one I want to come home to, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually. He paused, his gaze softening. When I met her, I wasn't looking for love. I was tired, drained, surrounded by people but feeling alone. And then she came, not with fireworks, but with a quiet understanding that disarmed me. She looked at me, and I swear it felt like she already knew the parts of me I never dared to show. I didn't just love her, I admired her, the qualities that captivated him. In an age of superficial attraction and hollow standards, Lee Min-ho's affection for Kim Go-eun is rooted in something far deeper, her essence. He spoke not of her appearance or fame, but of her soul. One, her unshakable grace. She has this quiet dignity, she never forces herself to be heard. Yet when she speaks, the whole room listens. She moves through life with such natural grace. It's not about how she looks, it's about how she makes others feel. She's kind, not because the world watches, but because that's just who she is. 2. Her emotional intelligence. Go-eun doesn't just hear you. She feels you. Even in my silences, she reads me. She never tries to fix me. She just sits beside me, and somehow, her presence alone makes the broken parts feel less sharp. 3. Her fierce loyalty. In a world where love can be a performance, she is private, steady, true. When she loves, it's not for display, it's for keeps. I've seen her stand beside me when things got dark. She didn't flinch. She didn't run. She held my hand and whispered, "We'll walk through this together." 4. Her humility. Despite all her achievements, she never sees herself as more than anyone else. She celebrates others. She lifts them. She doesn't chase the spotlight. It follows her because of how effortlessly beautiful her spirit is. She chose the man, not the star. Why he's ready to marry her. Tears welled in Lee Min-ho's eyes as he recounted a moment that changed everything for him. There was a day I came home exhausted, drained from media, pressure, people's opinions. I was irritable, distant. I pushed her away, not because I stopped loving her, but because I didn't feel worthy. And instead of walking out, she came closer. She made soup, sat quietly. And when I finally broke down, she held me like I was precious, like I wasn't a global star, but just a human man who needed warmth. His voice broke. That's when I knew I want to grow old with this woman. I want her beside me when I succeed, but more importantly, I want her beside me when I fail. Because her love, it doesn't depend on who I am in public. It rests on who I am in private. I've been with beautiful people, but I've never been with someone so beautiful inside. When asked about the difference between past relationships and this one, Lee Min-ho didn't hesitate. I've loved before. Or at least I thought I did. But with Go-eun, it's different. It's patient. It's honest. There's no performance. I can be my weirdest, most vulnerable, most flawed self, and she smiles like I'm a miracle. She doesn't just make me feel loved. She makes me feel safe. She's the reason I believe in forever. For years, Lee Min-ho was seen as the unattainable prince, the fantasy figure every drama fan adored. But fame, as he candidly admitted, is lonely. And love, when it's real, doesn't care for reputation. Go-eun could have fallen for anyone. But she chose to understand me. She chose to stand in my shadows. She chose the real me, not the filtered one. And for that, I will choose her every single day. He continued, I want to build with her. I want to argue, laugh, cry, dream, fail, and rise with her. I want to see her gray-haired and wrinkled, still yelling at me for leaving the lights on. I want forever, not the fairy tale, but the real forever. With all its mess, with all its beauty. A whisper to the world. This is not just a wedding. It's a soul choosing its home. As the world prepares for what will undoubtedly be one of the most anticipated weddings in Korean entertainment history, Lee Min-ho left fans with a final thought. To those who love us, thank you for believing in this love. This marriage isn't a spectacle. It's not a trophy. It's not a victory lap. It's a vow, a surrender, a sacred decision to love someone even when the cameras stop rolling. And I will spend the rest of my life honoring the woman who chose to love the man behind the fame. The world reacts, tears, cheers, and an outpouring of love. Following the release of the interview, fans across Asia, Europe, and the Americas have flooded social media with emotional tributes. This is the most real thing I've read in years. Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun's love is a beacon of hope in a plastic world. She's not just marrying a star. He's marrying his light. This is love at its purest. I cried reading this. I feel like I've watched him grow from a boy to a man. And now a husband. Final words. My love, my life, my Go-eun. The interview ended not with a summary, but with a soft murmur from Lee Min-ho, one barely caught by the microphone, but heard by hearts around the globe. If I had 1,000 lives, I'd choose her in every single one. My love, my life, my Go-eun. Thank you for finding me in the noise and loving me into stillness.